Following a series of massive water interruptions since September 16, the Davao City Water District is in hot waters with Davaoenos demanding answers from the city water provider. The long wait is over. One of the country's biggest love teams, Kim Chiu and Xian Lim, collectively known as Kim C, is returning to the big screen as Viva Films brings the Philippine adaptation of Korean hit movie Always.
Good afternoon. Today is September 23, 2022, here in Davao City, Philippines. I am Ace Perez, and welcome to the Talking Heads, where relevant and pressing issues, events, and personalities discussed become the front page. And for this episode, we will be having later on the show JC Duhaylungsod, the spokesperson of Davao City Water District, to shed light on the issue of water interruptions and a lot of other issues concerning the city water provider. But for this moment, let's welcome to the show our first guest for this episode, walay lain, the other half of Kim C, for the comeback movie Always. Let's welcome to the show, Xian Lim. Mayang hapon, Xian Lim, and welcome to the Talking Heads.
Hello, what's up everyone? Sa lahat ng mga Davaoenos dyan, hello. And thank you for having me.
Ayun. Thank you so much for taking time to be on the show, Xian. And we're excited on your comeback film, Always, of course, together with Kim Chiu. Before anything else, kumusta ang buhay after pandemic, now that everything, lahat na isa-isa no bumabalik na, including the entertainment industry. So, kumusta ang mga ganap sa buhay?
Okay naman. Eto, buhay pa. And I think it's a challenge na 2 years din tayong natigil sa mga ginagawa natin, di ba? Pero as far as entertainment industry, slowly going back. Dahil syempre yung mga sinihan nag-close din. And hindi pa rin katulad nung dati, ng mga 2019 na talagang komportable yung mga tao pumunta talaga sa sinihan at yun talaga yung parang pinaka-bonding. Then, di ba, pumutok bigla though popular na rin naman si Netflix at all the other platforms during that time, mas napunta doon yung panonood ng mga tao. So, kaya itong pelikula namin na ito, napapalabas ngayong September 28, we're inviting and we're also encouraging everyone to give theaters or to give cinemas another chance. Kasi di ba parang maybe nasanay tayo sa, in the small screen, but iba pa rin ang pakiramdam na mapanood ang pelikula on the big screen. And we're very excited for this film. And sana mabigyan po nila ng support.
Ayun. I'd like to also agree with you on that, Sia, na iba talaga yung big screen, watching a film na pinaghirapan ng mga production and ini-enjoy ng mga taong bayan on a big screen. And speaking of big screen, Kim C is back. It's such a good thing na balik na ang on the big screen ang tambalang Kim C, that's Kim Chiu and Xian Lim. Kumusta? How does it feel na you're back together sa big screen, and with this movie pa na Always, it's a big deal, because it's a Philippine adaptation of a hit Korean movie na Always din of the same title.
Working with Kim, ang masarap lang sa pakiramdam kasi para lang kami naglalaro eh. Alam mo yun, but at the same time, syempre, there's so much more art and there's so much more work put into it. Especially, ang proyekto na ginawa po namin ay Korean adaptation, and marami na rin pong nagawa na versions, which is merong Japanese ng 2020, merong mga Turkish version, may Indian version. Actually, yun nga, marami na po siyang adaptation from different countries. And we feel very proud at the same time na kami po yung napili for the Philippine adaptation. And there's also kaba, halong kaba dahil paano nga ba namin ibibigay yung panlasang Pinoy, kumbaga. And basically, we're just, yun nga, sa amin naman ni Kim, we're just really excited for this film. And I would say, and I would also say na kakaibang, medyo, it's a love story, definitely. Something na, ang ano lang kasi dito, ang something different lang dito is, it's a tearjerker. So, kung gusto nyong ma-in love and at the same time, umiyak ng konti, etong pelikula na to para sa inyo. But it's a family movie.
Ayun, no, and really meron talagang pressure no on your part because this has been also merong versions of Japan and Turkey and other countries. But yun yung inaabangan dapat ng mga moviegoers no and the Filipinos, really the Filipino touch of the film no of always na ended up ng Viva Films here sa Pilipinas.
Yes.
And, can you share ba just a little gist no of what Always is all about? Kung ano yung kwento na dapat nilang abangan sa Always and who are you playing here?
So it's a love story between my character, si Lino, and Kim's character, which is si Ana. Si Lino ay isang retired boxer and si Kim naman, retired boxer na may malalim na pinagdadaanan. Si Kim naman ay visually impaired. So, paano magkocross yung landas nila and paano sila mai-inlove sa isa't isa given different circumstances coming their way. That's what the whole film is about and how they work together as a couple or how they basically yun paano sila how they will get through all the obstacles.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's a different touch, especially mga pinagdadaanan ng mga characters, and it's something na sa mga viewers, sa audience, this is the type of movie na you just sit back and relax. Wala ka nang masyadong kailangang isipin. Hayaan nyo lang kaming dalhin kayo kung saan-saan, parang ganun.
Oo, pero relax, pero maiiyak ka din at the same time.
Oo, at the same time. Relax, pero may kurot. May kurot na relax.
And that's something also no, na talaga ding gusto na genre ng mga Filipinos proven sa mga ibang fields no in the Philippine industry. But can you share how did you prepare for your role here? You mentioned you're a retired boxer no, tapos nakita ko sa trailer na parang you entered into something underground street fighting stuff. So paano ka nag-prepare for this? Because I also heard that you did all the fight scenes na walang double. Na kinabahan nga si yung director ng movie no. So how did you prepare for this?
In terms of preparation naman, given the time na meron up from the moment na sinabi nila yung pelikula, nagbo-boxing naman kasi ako ng regular pero hindi yung as a profession or alam mo yun without something in mind na sige para sa pelikula ito kailangan matutunan ko yung mga ganito at ganyan. So mahirap physical yung sa akin more of physical na getting to talk to as many boxers as I can, going to different gyms to experience different training styles. Pero yun, and at the same time, I think hindi naman sobrang laking stunt ang required dito sa pelikulang ito. Nung nire-rehearse namin yung mismong laban, ano lang talaga siya ang requirement lang talaga ay masaktan. So it's not something na, alam mo yun, it's more of, yun nga, masasaktan lang talaga yung character. And I think yun nga, nag-volunteer na lang ako, sabi ko, wag na lang tayo mag-double para din naman worth it yung ibabayad nila sa pelikula, di ba? Kung bibili rin lang kayo ng ticket, makita nyo na yung actual masasaktan yung bida, di ba? So, yun, I guess it's something to be proud of on my end na ganun. But yes, sana they can give this movie a chance dahil maganda po siya, and everyone, alam mo, yung tinrabaho po talaga ito just para po sa mga audience.
But is this your first time na ikaw yung talaga, hindi ka nag-double or you did all the fight scenes? Is this the first time?
I think it's my first sa pelikula na ganito kabigat yung role. Again, hindi naman po siya talking about the body double and yung mga fight scenes. Hindi naman po siya ganun kabigat or hindi naman po siya ganun ka-intense, no? Though yun nga, ang requirement lang talaga masaktan. Mga pinagagawa namin dito, babalibagin, tapos papagsak sa kung saan-saan, yung mga ganito. Tapos it took us mga siguro a total of 8 hours that day to film 2 minute to 3 minute, mga ganon, 2 to 3 minute na fight scene. So, yun, it's a different experience, definitely. Kasi ang mga nagagawa ko is usually, yun nga, drama. Yun. Yes. So, iba pong pakiramdam ito.
So, that's just something na aabangan ng ating mga moviegoers sa Always, the fight scene, of course. Other iba pang mga scenes na andito sa Always, which will be showing on September 28th nationwide.
Yes, September 28th.
Yeah, September 28th. How is it working with Direct Dado Lumibaw? I read from an article that sabi niya, I quote, "They give their most mature performance in Always, and I'm so happy that so far, lahat na nakapanood ng film, ang feedback is napakagaling nilang dalawa. Their acting is so natural and it's so much fun working with them." So, on your end, kumusta naman yung working with Direct Dado Lumibaw?
Si Direct Dado, I think ang specialty kasi ni Direct Dado ay MMK. So, and he did plenty of episodes, and alam mo, batika na talaga siya na director. So, given this material, given yung mga pagdadaanan namin ni Kim, yung kanika-nila, yung journey ng character namin, yung journey ng kwento, ganito at ganyan, kapit lang talaga kami sa director on how paano niya kami iko-compass, paano niya nakikita yung mga eksena. And isa sa mga natutunan ko sa kanya is relax lang talaga siyang tao. Of course, setting up a whole production, working with actors and all that. Problems will arise, and you can really tell from his style na he's a problem solver. Mayroon siya kaagad, mabilis kaagad siya mag-isip. Nabibigyan niya lunas lahat ng mga problems that come up. So, which is a good thing dahil we need that, di ba, sa set. And he tells a really good story. He knows how to tell a really good story. So, yun. We felt very comfortable and we felt very at ease sa pag-direct niya.
Gaano ba katagal na sinut itong Always yan? And when was this shot? This year lang ba?
This year lang namin to shoot, and ang location namin dito ay Olongapo. And naalala ko nga, sabi ni Kim, if you guys have seen yung Korean version, I think that was 2011 pa ata, mga ganun. Meron dong iconic na stairs na aakyatan yung dalawang bida. So, I think
trailer,
malaking tulong yung location na nahanap nila. Hindi namin nakalain na may ganong location dito sa Pilipinas. Mukhang mukhang nasa ibang lugar talaga, and yung adaptation ng Pilipino it's something to be proud of dahil nga kanina nasabi mo na parang kumbaga panlasang Pinoy or with a Filipino touch, di ba? Nakakatuwa lang na meron tayong sariling atin, alam mo yun.
Kasi it's really good that we put our Filipino touch on the film, no? So ma-appreciate din siya ng mga Filipinos. And we've been mentioning nakasama mo of course dito si Kim Chiu, your other half, no, real and in real life. But napag-usapan din natin yung real side, like REE, the side ng always. So, but I'd like also to ask, I know that your fans watching us right now also would like to ask what the real life na love story of Kim Chiu and Xian Lim. So how are you guys doing? I know
Ace, pwede pakiulit yung tanong, nag-freeze ka. Hello, Ace.
ano yung napansin
Ayan.
mong major na development sa like sa character nyo as an individual and as a couple with Kim Chiu? Ano yung mga big or major development sa relationship nyo all throughout this year?
Okay. In terms of development sa relationship namin ni Kim, wala namang masyado eh. Kumbaga, it's still the same. Katulad nga kanina, sinabi ko na working with Kim is it feels great kasi nga para lang kaming naglalaro. You know what I mean? Nothing beats the feeling na magpupunta ka, you go to work and makikita mo yung special someone mo. So that it feels, yeah, it has an amazing feeling kasi parang, trabaho ba to? O parang, parang bilis matapos. Tapos yun na yun, parang ganun. But also, at the same time, kinukwento ko nga to sa mga interviews ko rin eh. Where every time they ask us, working with your partner on screen, it also comes with a challenge. Hindi naman siya porket, dahil kayo parang magiging madali na. Siyempre, it's different kasi meron na ring hiyaan at the same time. Whereas kung magka-eksena lang, alam mo yon, kung if you're just working professionally as two actors, parang mas madali nga yun eh. Where, kasi ito, mas kilala nyo na yung isa't isa. So, alam nyo na parang, nagawa mo na yan, yung parang gano'n may tuksuhan na. So parang I think there's challenges along the way din. But it's good good type of challenges naman. And it's something that we just laugh about every single time.
Yeah, it's also something that you can that can contribute to your growth no as a couple and as a love team.
Yes, and again, paulit-ulit ko sinasabi na ever since, this is kasi our mga 7 years na rin kami hindi nakapagtrabaho on the big screen. And we always make sure na we grow individually and we grow together as a couple in personal and in career. Alam mo yun, mas healthy yung ganun eh.
You grow and develop together as a couple.
Yes.
Ayun. And I know that you of course you've been together with Kim for years now, and as you grow as a couple, di talaga mawawala yung societal pressure, like they wanted you guys to level up your relationship na. But I know that we know that there's no harm sa mga mini-min nila, but at some point nagiging toxic na siya. But how do you handle those situations? Mga pressure in society.
It doesn't really magiging pressure lang naman siya if you give it that type of meaning. Kami naman, alam mo yun, for me and Kim, hindi naman namin, we don't really look at it in a negative light. Alam mo yun, of course, people are gonna have their own comments. People are gonna, you know what I mean, have their things to say. But it's up to you kung mapipressure ka o hindi. Basta ako dapat, ang bottom line lang dyan is, basta solid ang foundation nyo, di ba? Your values are intact. Solid kami as a couple, then just let it be, di ba? Enjoyin lang every single moment. Yeah. Hindi naman mawawala yun eh.
Yes. Ang importante kayong dalawa, you're on the same page and solid yung foundation, solid yung values as you mentioned. And yun, nagkakaintindihan kayong dalawa. So you just have to, of course, take your time and consider the pressure beneficial for the both as a couple. Now, since you already, thank you so much, Cian, for sharing that, no, and of course for sharing about the movie Always. So since it's entitled Always, so I have these three questions from our viewers that we posted it online, no. This game is called Always. So I have three questions here kung gaano ba ka-always mo ginagawa ito or tinitreat ito. So for our first parang question, ano yung gamit na always di nawawala sa bag mo?
Always cell phone.
Of course.
I think that's for everyone. Cellphone ang always hindi nawawala.
Ayun, cellphone. And how about, ano yung always na kinaiinisan mo or yung tinatawag nating pet peeve? In general.
Pet peeve. Ang pet peeve ko, medyo madami-dami akong pet peeve. But, siguro one thing that comes to mind would be di ba kunwari kumakain tayo sa isang lamesa tapos when people chew without their mouth closed. I think that's something
yeah. A lot of
something na that's my pet peeve. Di ba marami namang ganun eh. Di ba parang
I get that, Cian. Now,
basic lang yun, basic.
Pet peeve ng nakararami, of course. No? Now, last na question, ano yung always na sinasabi mo kay Kim? Either start of the day or before the day ends. Kim is watching right now.
Siguro, it's more of, I always greet her good morning. That's something that each other. We always greet each other good morning and we always say good night to each other.
Para you start and end the day with her. That's it.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, invite your fans, Kim C, and of course everyone to watch your film Always on September 28 nationwide.
Yan, to all the Davaoeños, the talking heads, thank you for having me here. At sa lahat ng nanonood ngayon, thank you so much for giving us the time to listen to this interview. And paulit-ulit namin sinasabi this past week na I hope you guys can support Always. That's gonna be in cinemas September 28th. So that's in a couple of days. And sana you guys can support and pumunta kayo sa sinihan to watch this. And sama niyo na yung barkada, pamilya, lahat-lahat na po. Kung gusto niyo umiyak, gusto niyo mag-relax sa may kurot, ito pong pelikula na to ay para sa inyo. So thank you so much, guys.
Ayun. Thank you so much, Xian, and congratulations in advance for the success of Always, your comeback film, of course, with Kim Chiu.
Thank you, Ace. Thank you for the interview.
That's Xian Lim, the lead actor for the upcoming film, Viva Film, which will be showing nationwide on September 28th. That's Always. It's a Philippine adaptation of a Korean hit movie of the same name. So that movie already has an adaptation sa Japan, Turkey, and other countries. And this year, it will be adapted, and there will be a version for the Filipinos to watch and enjoy on the big screen. Again, this is also the comeback film of one of the biggest love teams in the Philippines, that Kim Chiu, and Xian Lim. It's their comeback film after almost 8 years. So it's something that people should really watch out for. Aside from the story itself, it's also the comeback film of the love team Kim C. Again, that's Xian Lim earlier sharing about the film Always and their personal life and updates of his career with Kim Chiu. And later, when we come back, we will be having, and we will talk about the water situation issues in Davao City, which has been hounding the city for the past weeks. There's a lot of water interruptions that has been happening around the city, and we have a live later our the DCWD or Davao City Water District spokesperson JC or Jovana Cresta Duhaylungsod to shed light on the topic. That's that's the situation of the water situation here in Davao City. All that and more when we come back here on Talking Heads. And you're still watching the Talking Heads on Sunsur Davao. We are now live today on Facebook and YouTube. Facebook on Sunsur Davao and Super Balita Davao. Thank you so much for watching. And as promised, we will be having today our the DCWD or Davao City Water District spokesperson JC Duhaylungsod to shed light on various topics affecting and involving Davao City Water District. Kaya di na natudugayon, let's welcome to the show, JC Duhaylungsod, DCWD spokesperson. Maayong hapon, maayong gabi, Ma'am JC. Maayong hapon, Ma'am JC, no, and welcome to the Talking Heads.
Maayong hapon, Ace, and maayong hapon po sa tanan, no, na nakatutok sa tuwa, karong
Ayun. Ma'am JC, ay daghang salamat no for taking time to be on the show. Alam ko na daghan kay kag interviews for the past weeks, no, and responding to a lot of queries and concerns of Davaoenos about the water situation, especially yung mga affected na residents, affected lines, no, na because sa pagkasira or damage ng ating Dumoy water supply system line 2. So, ma'am, for the benefit lang po sa mga wala pa kabalo, no, for those who have yet to know the real reason behind what happened last starting September 15 na damage yung Dumoy water supply line 2 that serves around 60 to 70,000 clients, no, in Davao City, which is also considered one of your largest groups, no, served by DCWD. So can you give us parang summary lang, ma'am, sa unsang nahitabo and kumusta karon ang situation?
Yes, actually, itong September 15 at around 9:50 p.m. nag-emergency shut-off ta sa ato ang Talomosam 2. Kanimanggong ato ang tubig from our sources, from the Dumoy well fields, na before we can distribute that to our customers. Ginaagi na to na siya o dito sa ato ang pumping station. There is a big storage facility there wherein ato ang ginatapok ang tubig. And then from there, ato siyang gina-boost, no, gamit ang mga booster pump paingon sa ato ang mga distribution network. We need the booster pump kaya ang extent sa ato ang distribution goes as far as portions of Panakan, Mandog, Pampanga, Lanang, and Sasa. Now with the emergency shut-off last Thursday, all of the pumps were non-operational. There were no problems sa pumps, kaya lang nasira ang ating electrical. Na ay duha ka linya serving power, no, sa ato ang mga booster pumps. Now, on Friday, with all best efforts sa atong mga kaubanan sa trabaho, that's September 16, we were able to resume, no, ang ato ang operation despite the challenges, no. However, it was only partial boosting capacity. Kay kaning ato amanggong pagbomba sa tubig paingon sa ato ang mga customer sa line 2, kailangan nato og unom ka booster pump to consider it as katong full blast na operation. However, on Friday, although naka-online ta, upat lang ka booster pump ang ato ang na online. But that is already, no, significant development. Kay meaning katong mga around 66,000 service connections under line 2 na anay portion ato na matubigan. Now, the challenge kasi sa remaining na 3 booster pumps or the remaining booster pumps na dili pa operational, mas severe ang damage sa electrical line. When we assess the situation last Friday, we really need to procure pa mga materials, mga pertinent, mga assemblies para ma-connect nato siya ubalik no sa power supply. And initially, we thought it would take us around, but all best effort, through emergency procurement, siguro at most 1 week time. But since we understand that our customers cannot wait that long kasi despite the partial operation, ubay-ubay gihapon ang wala na nato nabalik ang ilahang supply during that time. So what we did was nakapangita og alternative solution ang ato ang operations team. Mobilization started right away by Saturday and binuntagay ang trabaho, and finally on Sunday at 1:16 p.m. na-resume na nato ang full blast na operation sa ato ang pumping station sa Talomong. Now, given the extent sa areas na kailangan nato i-cover with respect to the line 2 operation, kailangan nato og additional time for the full recovery sa ato ang operation, which i-base sa ato ang previous na mga experience pag mag-shut off ta og line 2 na operation would take us around 48 to 72 hours. And from Sunday until yesterday, we're happy to report, actually gahapon ang last nato nakuha na data is that around out of the 66,000 service connection, naa na lang sa around 4% ang wala pa nato na maingon na naka-fully recover. But sa kaning 4% is some of these nag-feedback na sa atua. In fact, nag-advise na sila that there's no need to deliver anymore. Although dili pa tong usual na number of hours of water supply availability ang ilahang masinati, makapondo na sila og water supply. Naalang gihapon tay isa gahapon na na-deliveran, and actually karon we're still monitoring the situation, and if there's still a need, we will deploy water deliveries to areas needing pa augmentation sa supply. And this will continue until over the weekend, considering that projected na over the weekend mas mo-spike pag yun ang water demand. So naagi hapon ni siya effect sa kaning recovery process nato mo nang continuous monitoring, and even our operations team are on naka-ready for deployment if there is a need to help in the faster recovery sa ato ang water supply.
Ma'am, I would just like to clarify, of the 60, yung 4% na lang na naiwan na hindi pa naka-recover, asa man ni sila na area sa Davao City?
Actually, these are considered as naana sa endpoint sa ato ang distribution network. Well, ang katong isa naman, aside sa naa siya sa endpoint, it's also situated in a relatively medyo elevated ang iyahang location. So naa dito sa may portion sa ato ang sa Panakan covered by DCWD, and dara sa may bahada, particularly sa may Malibu residences, dito ta naglas og deliver kahapon.
Alright. So yun yung mga portions na lang na naiwan na hindi pa naka-fully recover. But ma'am, you mentioned that we need 6, di ba, na the term is booster pumps for the full blast nitong line 2. So karon naana ba ang 6 ka pumps or pila pa lang ka pumps ang fully operational karon as we speak?
Last Sunday, September 18, nakabalik na tag full blast operation. So the alternative solution to restore power sa remaining booster pumps na non-operational was successful and completed last Sunday, September 18 at 1:16 p.m. And from there, full blast na ang atong boosting capacity.
All right. So, padayon gyapon to atong pag-procure, ma'am, sa additional na booster pump?
We will not be procuring additional booster pump, but we will be procuring ang katudjong replacement sa line. And the corresponding appurtenances and assemblies needed. So kay syempre we have to restore no ang katudyo unsa ang iyahang actual design. If there are improvements needed that we can implement, appeal na po to siya no sa gina-workout karon na replacement para kasi the alternative solution naman, although it's effective, lahi mong good to ma-restore nimo siya sa iyahang original na design. And if you can implement na improvements, mo na po to no ang buhaton sa ato ang engineering department.
All right. So, but when can we expect na atong replacement sa pumps, booster pumps, maabot na gyud siya ma'am para balik na gyud sa normal gyud na operations, because as what we're doing now is really alternative lang na alternative na way or approach.
There is no difference kasi the alternative solution was to restore the power supply sa booster pump. There are no problems with the booster pump, so walay need to replace the booster pump. So the alternative solution that we implemented is already it's already suffice no to restore ang katong full blast nato na operation. So as it is, while we are procuring ang katong replacement na actual no for the electrical wiring, there's no dili dili maguol ang ato ang mga customers kay despite that full naman ato ang boosting capacity.
All right. Okay. That's clear na Ma'am JC, no, thank you so much. So okay na yun siya ang sa karon, fully operational na and full blast na no ang ato ang line sa Dumoy line 2 and 4% na lang, so that's gamay na lang no ang wala pa jud naka fully recover, but we are expecting no for the coming days na maka-recover na siya given with the alternative solutions na gi-implement sa DCWD on these areas. Now, ma'am, is this a first time ba nga na nahitabo ng inaani na electrical damage no and kailangan na gyud i-replace ang pumps sa history sa DCWD? And the questions kasi ng iba nga daw wala daw parang backup plan or parang spare part no sa mga pumps para right after unta dayon daw nahitabo tong incident no maalis din siya right there and then like at least 24 hours.
We have a very full inventory when it comes to mga replacements sa mga parts sa ato, ang mga bomba, mga tubo, among others that we need for our operation. And again, hindi naman booster pump kasi ang nasira. It's actually the electrical lines no that provide power supply sa ato ang booster pump. Ang sa kanimang good na instance, this is the first time na nahitabo siya that ang atong yung linya ang na-damage. But regardless, no, we were still able to expedite ang kaning pag-resolve sa situation, which allowed us na by less than 24 hours, we were already online and full blast no operation within 72 hours.
I want to clarify also, these water pumps, diba kailangan nila generators, especially pag na ay blackout or power interruption. So the viewers also are asking kung unsang updates daw sa generators nato for water pumps.
We have to understand na sa operation sa water district, we use different kinds of pumps. Ang katong ato ang ginagamit for production well, lahi to sila ng mga bomba. Lahi ato ang booster pumps na ginagamit sa ato ang sump or pumping station sa Talomo. Now, as part of our contingency, yes, we are looking at procuring mga generator sets that will serve no as a standby backup power supply for our production wells. Katudjong nagasuyo og tubig sa ato ang mga well fields. Now for the operation sa ato ang pumping station sa Talomo, although it is feasible na magbutang ta dito og standby generator set, but the direction is actually in terms sa planning ni water district, we will look for a more sustainable solution, and that is to find an alternative source that is not dependent on the power grid. Mo nang we ventured sa kaning bulk water supply project because once operational ang bulk water supply project, this will already serve ang katong a big portion of line 2 Dumoy water supply system kay instead na magikan ang tubig gikan sa Talomo pumping station nato ihatod nato dito sa atong Panorama Reservoir with the bulk water supply project diretso na moagi ang tubig paingon dito sa ato ang Panorama Reservoir, and the mechanism needed for the bulk water supply project, it will be run using gravity, so minimize gud ang ato ang downtime regardless kung naay mga challenges sa power supply diri sa ato ang syudad.
Alright. Good that you mentioned about the bulk water project, and later I'll ask updates on that as far as kung unsa lang pwede maingon sa DCWD, of course. But on another issue, ma'am, the city council naglobby sila city councilors lobbied for a need of new water utility service provider in the city para Tagalog option and for better services para sa Davaoenyo. So, what is the stand or position of DCWD or Davao City Water District on this suggestion and invitation of the city to invite a new player in terms of servicing water to the public?
With respect naman, let's go back to the status quo. Actually, it is not water district alone that supplies water diri sa ato ang syudad. In fact, ang ato ang service coverage is napalang ta sa 116 barangays. And in some of these barangays, dili pa gyud nato ni sila fully served. So, na mga areas na partial lang ang ato ang water service. So, with that said, there are other players already sa kaning ato ang syudad. In fact, subdivisions na sila ilahang water service providers. So, if the council, with due respect to them, because we also understand that ang ilahang concern and priority is the welfare sa mga Davaoenyos, we understand that if they want to have another water service provider, since it's already in the status quo, there's no problem naman with water district. Kasi on our end, we will just continue to expand and improve our services regardless kung pila ka players sa water service providers na naa-diri sa Davao City.
So that said, ma'am, dili affected ang position sa DCWD to better their services if naay bagong player na mo sulod sa Davao City. The same lang gihapon ang thrust sa Davao City Water District as far as providing quality and safe water for the Davaoenyos. Now, ma'am, JC, a lot of these water problems na ato ang ginasigutan karon could have been addressed if operational na ang atong ginatawag na Davao City Bulk Water Supply Project or DCWD. Because I've been covering Davao City bulk water supply project since I think launched siya in 2016 or somewhere in 2015 and 2016, and the target was in 2019 or 2020 matapos na ang project. But I understand that there's a lot of hiccups and setbacks as far as the project is concerned because of course the pandemic, and naapoy mga contributing na internal matters and problems involving atong project. So, ma'am, if ever na dili madayon ning water project or kaning bulk water project sa city, what will happen ba sa water situation sa city, especially that the demand is increasing for the Davaoenyos? So, naabay plan B na ginahimo ang Davao City Water District to augment or to address this situation, because especially kung dili gyud madayon by before end of the year ang operations sa bulk water supply.
Yes, on the part of DCWD, even with our venture, aning a bulk water supply project, we never placed all our eggs in one bag. Because we understand and based po sa mga experiences sa other water service providers diri sa nasod, if you depend so much on only one major source, there will be consequences kung naay maka-encounter ni o mga challenges. So, despite that we ventured aning bulk water supply project, padayon man ta o develop og mga sources. And in fact, katong ato, and we also have mga contingency supplies mga development of additional sources even in areas na projected na to na maserbisyuhan sa bulk water supply project. Case in point, ang kaning atuang Talandang production well number 1. Talandang area or the Biawakin Talandang water supply system is one of the offtake points sa bulk water supply project. So alongside that, nag-develop daw og isa ka production well as supposed to be unta a contingency supply just in case na ay mga downtime no sa bulk water supply project. But we were able to operate it in advance this year, which for now has helped us significantly in improving our water services dito sa 3rd district area as well as other sources na atay upat na nadungag in the 3rd district area which augmented our water supply. So this only shows that despite na naatay bulk water supply na proyekto, panayon si Water District no to develop more sources so that we have more options and we can plan out a water service provision na adunay mga contingencies in place to prepare for any eventualities.
Ma'am, would like to update lang kung pila na gyud ang water demand annual ba na how do we measure it ang water demand sa city as of 2021?
That is okay. Sige, we'll just recon na lang siguro on how many service connections we have. Right now we have around 242,000 service connections, and per our data, one service connection usually mo consume na siya noog around 1 cubic meter. So that's around 242,000 cubic meters per day no na consumption. But syempre naaman tay mga commercial establishments and also mga industries that require more water. So nagadula-dula lang dara ang katong mga water requirements sa ato ang mga customers. But with that said, based kasi sa ato ang experience as a water service provider for almost 50 years, the more supply that you have, nagasaka man pong yun, no, ang water demand sa tao. So sa pagkaroon, it will be at around 1 cubic. But if you can offer more water supply, then mag-open siya og mga mas daghan na mga activities. It could be residential and economic activities. So mo nang we make sure munang dako kay tabang gyud ang bulk water supply project kay dako kayo siya na pag-augment no sa ato ang daily na water supply na mahatag sa ato ang mga customers. Right now, our existing facilities can already provide around 330 million liters of water per day. And with the bulk water supply coming in, that's another at least 300 million liters. So, dako kay siyang pagsaka sa ato ang available na water supply na pwede mahatag sa mga customers, which in effect, no, would also translate later on sa mas diverse na water uses and pag-increase po sa water demand.
All right. Thank you so much for that, ma'am. No? But we'd just like to have it on record po, Ma'am JC. No? If ever steady lang to ang sources of water karon as we speak, stable ba gihapon ang water supply sa city? Like for example, first quarter of 2023, for example, madelay pag yun, no, ang bulk water project sa city. So, by that time, kaya pa ba gihapon i-supply sa water district ang water demand sa Davaoenos?
As it is right now, we can say that our available water supply is nalagyan siya sa threshold, especially pag peak hours of water demand. Kaya mo doble mong gudjud na ang konsumo sa tao tapos sabay-sabay na gamit. So, from now and until mag-operate ang bulk water, there will be areas na makasinati og low water pressure to no water even if walay water interruption. And as it stands, we have around 29% no out of the 242,000 service connection. So what we're doing right now is we are specifically targeting these areas para kung naatay mabuhat na mga interventions. It could be valve management, pag-adjust sa atong distribution. We can implement this para matagaan na to og alibyo ang ilahang water supply or mga intermittent water supply. But lahi gyud ang mabuhat kung dako nga quantity ang madungag no sa ato ang pwede na mahatag sa ato ang mga customers. So that's why there will be challenges, there will be areas experiencing intermittent water supply. Samtang wala pa naka-operate ang bulk water supply project, but DCWD on our end, we have different strategies in place to make sure that despite the intermittent water supply within the 24-hour time frame, magkatubig gihapon ang ato ang customers.
Okay. So that said, Ma'am JC, no, na we're really banking on the bulk water project no para at least no masulban na gining supply no sa tubig diri sa Davao City. Kay if not, it will be a lot of problem. But it's good to know that DCWD are also napay other strategies no and of course sources of water na atong ginatan-aw para of course stable ang atong water situation diri sa city and dili lang ta magsalig sa bulk water project. And but bulk water project na hisgutan no, I think it demands another episode for sa kaning para mahibalan nato more details about the project kung asa na siya karon. And I think next week na ang the key players of the project no sa Presscon na sila Presscon next week diri sa Davao City. So that's something that we really matuang ginaabangan no para magka-updates ta sa water bulk water project sa city. Ma'am, this another issue, medyo dagandagan yung issue, ma'am, no. With the recent na water hike, no, water rate hike diri sa city, just August, no, 30% ang gitaas sa DCWD and it's approved, no, of course, by the necessary na boards and offices and agencies. But Davao City Vice Mayor Melchor Kitain, nag-ingon siya na he wants the Davao City, the Water District to upgrade no the facilities na available no with the rate hike na to. So can we expect ba ma'am that better services are coming with this rate hike from DCWD?
Yes, even wala pa ang water rate hike no or the adjustment that we implemented last August. We have already mga projects that are already in the pipeline that will significantly improve no ang ato ang mga operations and services. But to say na the 30% kung sa to ma-generate na revenue na additional with the water rate adjustment, this can be already immediately no feel the effect sa ato ang succeeding na mga sa succeeding na mga bulan. That is still very early to say, but regardless kung naaman ang water rate adjustment o wala, naa naman tayo mga naglihok na mga proyekto para mapa-improve ang ato ang pagpangserbisyo diri sa city. But the water rate adjustment is very would really help no expedite, fast track ang ato pang uban pa na mga programa, considering na self-sufficiency water district, we fund our own operation and mga programa with the additional revenue generated from the water rate adjustment. Mas daghan ta og mga ma-implement no na mga programs because since I think nag-start ang pandemic, we have been prioritizing namang good no nag-result na taana sa katungod sa ang mga projects na implement to strategize lang pod how we can use our funding. So definitely we have presented naman asa padulong ang ato ang water rate adjustment, and if nakita to nila, it all goes to operations improvement and expansion of services, and definitely dito gito siya padulong. So rest assured no tong concern ni Vice Mayor is duly noted, and we will make sure no na to show to them if kung asap jud padulong ang kaning ato ang gastusanan with the water rate adjustment.
Yes, that's very important, Ma'am JC, to really be transparent no as far as the financials, and of course kayong implementation of the recent na water rate hike in the city. Now, Ma'am JC, na aming mga pangutana no gikan sa those are my questions no from my end, but these questions are really from Davaoenos, valid concerns, valid questions from Davaoenos themselves about the mga issues no involving Davao City Water District. So let's all watch this.
Bakit palaging mayroong water interruption ng water district sa mga ibang lugar dito sa Davao?
Anong walay tubig kada buntag nga naman mi sa City of Heart?
Akong bungutan na sa water district nganong dili kanunay ang pag-agas sa gripo sa ubang lugar diri sa Davao City.
And yun, ma'am, no, those are just a preview of the concerns of Davaoenos. But we have really here, before you answer those questions, so we have here screenshots, no, from we posted kasi kagabi. Sunstar asked, no, if Davaoenos have questions for DCWD or Davao City Water District, kung na sila gusto nga ipangutana. So these are the questions. This is a concern from Daryl Lee, or from Thomas Evangelista. There should be sa iyahang according to him, ma'am, no, there should be an X% refund every time there's a water interruption. Okay lang 2 hours mawala ng tubig, pero kung araw or 24 hours or more ang bibilangin bago magkaroon ng tubig, abuso na yun. Maawa naman kayo sa mga tao, lalo na sa mga may negosyo na dependent sa tubig. So that's a concern from Thomas. Later, pasagutin muna natin si Ma'am JC sa first question ni Thomas.
Yes, we have been receiving.
Oo, kung inato ba daw, ma'am, okay lang ba daw na ay there's a refund percent? Is that possible?
Actually, natin mga nadawat na suggestions on that. Unlike kasi other mga like telco, no, na-adyo na sila subscription rate. If na-ay downtime sa ilahang services, they provide a refund. Sa ato kasi, sa water district, we only bill you what you consume. So, if na-ay mga water service interruption, definitely, wala may mo register na consumption sa inyong water meter. So with respect to the refund, we cannot give kay during that time wala man pud ni patak, wala man pud ni tuyok ang kaning consumption, no, sa ato ang customer. So right now, unfortunately sir, no, mga tao dispensa, but we have no policy on refunds because of the nature on how we bill our customers.
Ayun, so that's clear, no? Yung bill really, kung ano lang yung na-consume ng consumer, yun yung i-bill ng DCWD. Now, ma'am, that statement, no, contradicting siya dito sa question ni, I don't know if it's valid also, itong question ni Jeneline Humarito, sabi niya, nganong among bill dako kaayo nga wala may agas pirmi. We're not sure kung asa iyang location, no, but of course still within Davao City. Pero na-old ba na situation? Nahitabo ba na siya?
We have received also mga inaana na cases, Ace. That's why if naa sila inaana na observation, we really suggest that they get in touch with our office. They can call our hotline and they can also contact, no, directly our Facebook page. 24/7 po na atong chat support there at facebook.com/official DCWDY because we can guide them. If they think that they are their bill is more than what they are consuming, we can advise them on what to do. Kay kasagaran good cases, no, na ato ang gina-process ana ang ilahang observation na sila after the meter leak. So meaning na ay tagas sa ilahang tubo, that's the reason why nganong kusog kaayo ang ataas ang ilahang consumption. So we advise ma'am, if she can check, no, her after the meter pipeline, kay kung naay leaking, dapat jud to niya ipa-repair. Kay mo na ang rason nga nung despite the low consumption, taas iyahang water bill kay naay take out sa iyahang linya na mo register na sa iyahang metro. And secondly, dako pud na factor na mo reduce further ang iyahang water pressure kung naay leaking sa iyahang after the meter kay mahungaw naman ang iyahang tubo and naapod na siya setback in terms of water quality. Kay kung mo low pressure, mo suction man gud no gikan sa leak, and then labaw na kung naka-submerge, pwede na siya makapasulod og impurity madadto sa iyahang masulod sa iyahang linya makonsumo nila. So that is one possibility. Now if wala na may leaking, the moment they contact our office, we will launch right away, no, katong ginatawag nato na kaning high consumption investigation, which will be facilitated by our commercial services department. So naanay series of investigation buhaton. Even the meter, they will check to see if accurate ang registry, because we have our own ISO accredited testing bench. And then whatever the recommendation is, we will communicate that to the customer.
Ayun. So there's maybe underlying issue, no, sa kaning concern ni Ma'am Janeline sa iyang kung ba nganong taas gyapon niyang bill despite the low consumption na iyang na feel, no, sa ilang residents. So base na leakage or other issues concerned. So ato ang ingon ni Mama JC, no, you can contact of course DCWD sa ilang hotline and of course Facebook page, very active na mo reply sa inyong concern. Now another concern, second to the last na ni siya, si Noe or Barex, ingon siya, gusto na ako next si Noe muna. Yon, gusto na ko sila i-ask ngano ga-implement sila og added 30% sa billing nga wala man klaro ang agas sa buhangin ug sa uban pa nga area. So I think nasagot na ni Ma'am ganina, no, but if you may, Ma'am JC, no, to respond kani kay Barex na concern.
Yes, we have extensively explained the need for water rate adjustment. This will augment yun ang ato ang ma-generate na revenue, which we need to fast track the implementation of our 10-year business plan na ang ato ang tumong is to make sure, no, na mubalik gihapon siya sa Davaoenos through improved water service and expanded more areas to be served, no, sa Davao City Water District. If we maintain manggod ang ato ang current na water rate, it will really, because we are already napud mi sa punto manggod is that we are prioritizing project for the tungod kay kulang na tao funding, but with the water rate adjustment, ako kaini siyang tabang na we can implement more projects at a time on a yearly basis, and maapas na to, no, atong mga targets. Kay ang Davao City is expanding at an exponential rate. Padulong na sa District 2 and District 3 areas ang mga residences. And we need to be ready. We need to be available once the subdivisions open. Kay pag abot ana na time, pangitaon man gihapon ni. So for now, if the subdivision, we in the next 10 years, daghan kaayo og development sa syudad. And we want to be ready, we need to start implementing projects as early as now, because ang development, no, sa isa ka water supply system, which includes one production well, mga pipelines and reservoir, would take us around 4 to 5 years. So dapat pas-pas gyud ang amo ang implementation. So with that said, mo nang importante gyud sa amo na makapahigayon aning water rate adjustment. We could have chosen, no, a more convenient time unta na sana pag-operate na sa bulk water. We were thinking about that, na kanang hapsay na ang tubig, no, sa ato ang mga customers. But time is of the essence, nagadagan ang panahon, sayang ang opportunity, and the demand, no, is imminent na kaayo. So dapat andaming to meet these demands. Thus the water rate adjustment.
Ayun. So you were saying, Ma'am JC, no, that it's really necessary, no? It's more of a necessity for DCWD to really implement the water rate hike, because of course to expedite yung a lot of various programs of DCWD, no, of course implementing your 10-year business plan para maka-catch up or maunahan, no, ang development, ang demand sa city, because of course Davao City is growing, no, as yung economy ng city is growing at a very fast pace, no, so kinahanglan na mo naa ang DCWD na maka-prepare and kinahanglan ang rate hike for this. Now medyo heavy kaayo ang ma'am, no, ang mga questions nato, and of course from Sansar and from our Davaoenos, our viewers. Pang end nato questions from question from Daryl Lee. Medyo naani siya halong hugot iyahang mamalihog mig balik sa among tubig, nawalaan siguro sa tubig, ma'am. Napil siguro sila dito sa 4%, no, nga nabilin, kay mauna lang ang among gidahom nga mobalik. Unsa man maingon nimo ani, ma'am?
Nagihapon na mo abot nga lain. So, aside sa tubig, which we will provide, ayaw ka bala ka sa tamang panahon na mo balik nga mas maayo pa.
Yun. Thank you so much, Ma'am JC. That's Jovana Cresta, Duhaylungsod, the spokesperson of Davao City Water District, Davao DCWD or DCWD. Daghang salamat, Ma'am, for answering those questions, and see you sa mga sunod pa na episodes, no, kung naapatay mga concerns and valid concerns and questions from Davaoenos as far as the water situation in the city is concerned. Thank you so much, Ma'am JC.
Thank you anytime, and thank you sa Sunstar for always helping us explain to our customers.
Again, that's Ma'am JC or Jovana Cresta Duhaylungsod, the spokesperson of Davao City Water District or DCWD. So kanina, during our interview, sinabi niya na yung affected since September 15 na water interruption because of the electrical wiring, no, na damage. Now it's fully operational. Considered as fully operational because there's only 4% na nabiling, no, na line, na mga lines na wala pa nila or wala pa naka-fully recover of the over 66,000 na lines na affected atong nahitabo atong September 15. And also, she also again clarified, no, and explained to us kung anong kinahanglan ng water rate hike na i-implement this year, no, wala na kahulat o next year or moabot ba ang bulk water. It's because kinahanglan na siya to implement and expedite various programs to better and to improve the services and facilities of DCWD. This is in line for their 10-year business plan. And of course, gi-emphasize po and gi-underscore nato din hino, of course, ni Ma'am JC, we're really banking on the Davao City bulk water supply project na ongoing pa ang ongoing ang paghimo ni ini, no. It's expected na within the year maging operational na siya. The bulk project has a lot of setbacks and hiccups along the way, no, when this was a launch somewhere in 2015 or 2016, but yung targets 2020 or 2021, but now still non-operational pa ang project. It's because of a lot of issues. That's of course COVID-19 pandemic na hitabo in 2020, and napoy mga contributing internal matters and factors na gi-resolve, no, internally sa maong proyekto. So those are the highlights, no, of the interview that we had with, of course, Jovana Cresta Duhaylungsod, the spokesperson of Davao City Water District. And that's all you need to know for this episode. Don't forget to follow all our social media accounts for more updates on the latest happenings and latest on the trends in Davao City and Philippines as a whole. Be sure to be in the know. I am Ace Perez, and this is the Talking Heads, where stories discussed become the front page. Maayong hapon and have a great weekend.